And we're back from break. Give me just 1 second to bring everybody else back. So that second video is just raid footage from Vanguard, and nothing makes that game looking more dated than watching that video. So we're back. How's everybody doing?
Not my first choice for raid video music, but
but don't you want to be a hero?
No, I probably would have chosen Paul Stanley's Live to Win. But you know, I'm that guy.
So, while we're coming back into the topic, I've always looked at MMOs in general. They're my hobby. Like, they're my pastime. I mean, obviously I do a podcast for them, so I'm a little bit more invested in them than the majority, and I understand that. And I've always kind of looked at raiding as that team building activity that requires a little bit more than just getting your friends together over for a night of, because for role playing, right? So you've got your tabletop game, whether it be like a board night, you have all your friends over and you play a board game or you play an RPG or whatever. And then there's like a next level up from that, like maybe an organized rec team, like a soccer team that's like 11 players, or a baseball team that's like, it's a co-ed, it's casual. It's like you get together and you compete with one another and you have fun, but it's extended beyond just your immediate group of friends that you're playing the game with. And it's extended to a friend of a friend of a friend, right down the line. And in that, it's more like an organized team game, and that, like, if the guy is playing second base, as long as he knows how to play second base, I can just, hey, he's over there playing second base. He's doing what he does. And if he knows enough that he wants to play baseball, he probably knows enough to understand how second base works, or it's really quick to get him up to speed. She's laughing, and I don't know why. And I've always looked at raiding as kind of that same thing, but it's for video gamers, for the MMO players, right? It's the thing that we do is like, hey, that guy over there, he's a friend of a friend of a friend, and he knows how to play a mage. As long as he knows how to play a mage, we can make it work. Like, we're done. We're good. Let's go. And so
about people knowing how second base works.
Well, you see when a man loves it.
Can we just sing that just a little bit?
No, because Twitch will mute us for 30 minutes.
Right.
Oh, they might have muted us for playing that video, damn it.
Oh.
But that's only hold on. That's only on a VOD. We export to YouTube and we cut it out when we do that, so it's not an issue.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was just saying that if they got rid of rating in general, I would probably be pushed into finding something else to do, because that is the one thing that MMOs offer me right now that I can't get in a solo player experience, and I can't get in a limited game setting with like me and like 3 or 4 or 5 of my other friends, because it requires that little bit of extra organization that people, the greater that organization, the greater the chance of extra glory beyond just seeing the content for what it is. And I'll get off my soapbox now.
This is why I need props. I sold my soapbox.
we need props, and we need the soundboard. Where's it? Why is it working? You haven't used it at all tonight.
I got a lot going on over here.
They're talking about like how much they love their video games, their MMOs, and have a Hearthstone mug. I went and bought a freaking Hearthstone mug. I have like 3 different Blizzard plushies, one of which was sold out at BlizzCon when I bought it. So, despite that it was $5, I spent $63 on eBay just to get it. For a stupid dog. So yeah, maybe I'm a little bit.
It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad?
Damn it, Gladys!
Listen, I got one of the whole scene, but I'll say that maybe near the end of the show for now. I haven't cut that one down yet. I got another one.
Somebody can't hear me. Am I not loud enough? What?
Did you mute yourself? Just gotta go.
It's I kind of dig like the chat room. Maybe the chat room right now is like I'd quit MMORPGs without raids. I think like I said, it's you can't do one thing in an MMO and expect it to kind of be like, oh, we just concentrate on PvP. Oh, okay, cool, bye. Because you're alienating a lot of other people. You know, it's not good, not a good thing. Like, and to say that MMOs aren't social, I mean it's such crap. Like, I run. All right, I run. We started back my old guild up in WoW, and Crayola Kitty is now the co-GM in that guild, and you know, we plan on raiding. We probably plan on doing more flex raiding than anything else. Maybe 10 man or flex, and I'm cool with that. Like, do we want to do mythic? If we get enough people, sure. If not worried about it. I'm more for let's have fun and do it as a guild than we gotta do this and take this seriously. If we're gonna wipe, we're gonna wipe. And I'm the type of guy that makes jokes and like will be the like, what happened? I may have pulled a hole from. we kind of did that in a heroic dungeon the other day, where our hunter accidentally pulled the patrol on accident while I pulled a group as the tank, and then we wiped. And then Crayola Kitty ran all the way back to where we respawned near the start with the group. I was like, no, it's fine. I'll take him from right here. She just saved us time. We didn't have to run all the way up to them. It's fine. It's fine. Perfect. Everybody, if we die, we'll just be right here for him. And it worked out. We still lived. We lived through it. We may have died, but we repopped. It was fun, though. That's what the games are supposed to be about, regardless of if you raid or PvP or do anything. It's supposed to be about fun and camaraderie with friends and people. Oh, no, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say, like, raiding is fun and I enjoy it. And I might get a little frustrated because we wipe, but not like rage quit angry face, right? And the same with dungeons. It's okay if we wipe. It's okay if we fuck up because I'm having fun with my friends. But those rules don't apply in PvP. I am an angry bitch when I play PvP. He has came home and seen me in the middle of battlegrounds, and he's like, what are you doing? Because I yell at my computer a lot.
More dots! You're just yelling at your computer. More dots! You're giving yourself
50 DK minus!
Well, what's really funny is now that I main a warlock, there's lots of yelling of more dots.
Which demon do you roll with?
Oh, please. What do you think I'm rolling with?
I can see with the succubus.
Infernal.
Alright, I can see with the infernal.
Because I have warlock green fire. My infernal is green. It's badass. But yeah, okay, so in PvP, yeah, it's totally a succubus though. But I PvP as a warrior. That's when I get angry faced. Indeed. Sorry.
But no, it's fine. I just like there's a lot of things I don't agree with this article, and one of the things is it pigeonholes social interactions. It's like I've never been a part of a guild, ran a guild where people not rating never felt that they were being cast out or anything. Like it's still super social. They still have fun. There's still laughter. We still make jokes. Like, you know, I just never experienced that. Like, I never had an issue where people were like, "Well, I'm not raiding with these guys, so I'm just gonna like, no. Like, never. Like, I'm the guy that's like, we have TeamSpeak. Come talk to us. Like, come make jokes. Like, I'm the first guy out there that's pushing us out, and yeah.
And my experience is that like they're talking about like pigeonholing. The reverse of that would be that the only time that people are social is when they're in the raid group doing the raid thing. And therefore the people on the outside of the raid don't get that social interactions. And my experience has been like the opposite of it. Like during the raid, that's the least social part of when people are hanging out in the Mumble, because it's like everybody is like into what they're doing into that moment, and it's like nobody wants, nobody. And at that moment, it's like, hey, I'm your best friend and everything, but probably now isn't the time or place to bring up how your day at work was. Not that I don't want to hear, but let's catch up after work or after the raid, or that sort of thing. Like the social interaction is definitely still there. It's just not, raiding is not where it occurs. And so people that aren't raiding aren't normally missing out on it in my experience.
I am a no sense raiding person myself. Just STFU, get the job done, let's go.
No nonsense rating.
Bullshit rating.
And see, where I'm a different person. I'm more of a, like, I want to raid, but I'm still like, let's crack like, I try to keep it very light in that group, so that, like, even though, like, I expect everybody to kind of know what they're supposed to be doing. And you should. Like, if you go in there and you're like, I have no idea. Like, I'd rather you tell me, like, way before they're like, I have no idea what the hell is going on. And it'd be like, all right, well, here's some things, here's some videos you can watch, and I'll walk you through it. Like, just follow the other DPS, you'll be fine. Like, I'll be that guy. I'm not a jerk, but I'll still crack jokes, and we'll make each other laugh, and that's how I kind of roll. And it works for me. It works, and it works for the people I play with. And I think that's one of the things. Like, if you group up with people, you're gonna group with people that are like-minded in your personality and friendships and how you raid. I agree with Tamlin. Like, if we're concentrating middle of a fight, like, I don't want it to be like, so guys, work really sucked today, and like, if we're dying and all of a sudden, like, hey guys, work really sucked. Like, I'll start laughing. I'm like, we're dead, we're wiping anyway, and then I'll start cracking up and be like, all right, well, let's just wipe it and laugh. That's a different story. But if you're like in the middle of, like, we're winning that fight and I'm concentrating, you're just like, Although if somebody came sobbing into the group and was like, my life left me, I don't know what if I don't. I'm like, that better be a joke, because I don't know how to handle that after that. Like, should we stop raiding? I don't know, what should we do?
That's when I don't know what you would do in that instance. Like, I don't even know what I would do in that instance. Be like, dude, I'm so sorry, bro. You want to go kill shit?
All right.
Let's go kill shit. Come on.
Yeah, let's go smash something in the face. You'll feel better.
Probably. Drink, and fight. Like, that's how it would go down. Let's see. We did have a question, and I posted it in here. Where was it?
Should NPCs have the ability to flee
from their aggressors? Like,
yes.
I think it would be. I think it would be fun. I think for SOE storytelling with the way they want to kind of do their whole thing, that'd be kind of interesting. That would explain why certain bosses come back, But eventually I'd like to kill him and have someone else take over. Like, I don't want it to be like, Claw from, like, Inspector Gadget, like, next time, Gadget, next time! Like, I don't want that to happen where he's always fleeing and stuff. He's like, oh, I've been foiled, but I'll be back next week with even more dangers to catch you! Or the Scooby-Doo ending. It's like, oh, it was all it's like, if it wasn't for you meddling kids, if it wasn't for you meddling adventurers, I would have taken over this Kinos. It's like,
could you imagine getting to the end of the raid? Oh, she's not in this castle.
Oh, that'd be great. I would love that.
That way, but see, the thing is like, you could do that, and I think that it would be a fun experience, but you can't do it in every single encounter. And the thing about, like, bosses fleeing, my big thing about it is that, like, when you're delivering a story, you have to know where it's going to end, and if it makes sense in the story for the boss to flee, then let them flee. If it doesn't make sense even if AI, even if intellectually it doesn't make any sense, at some point in time you have to be like, well, this is the way the story needs to develop. And then that's where the same reason why you have to suspend it, because in a game full of players that resurrect themselves all the time, why don't they just go and, oh hey, there's that necromancer that we killed last week, somebody came by and resurrected him, so we have to go fight him again? I don't know. You basically, in the storytelling vehicle, you have to make sure that the delivery makes sense and flows.
I want to see it flee and then me have to snare it.
I can see an overland world boss type dragon that fleed, he's because in the world of EverQuest Next, right? So we're going to defend this village, right? And we've talked about it before, so all of a sudden the village becomes more wealthy and they have a whole lot more gold, and all of a sudden the dragon from 2 provinces over, he's like, why am I feeding on all of these impoverished people with their skinny cows? Dude, I could go fly over there. They've got fat cows and gold under their beds. Let's go. And so the players organize themselves and they fight off the dragon. And at that point in time, it makes sense for hey, you know what? The reason why I don't want to attack this village here, I don't want any of that. They can keep their gold. I'll stick with the scrawny cows.
This stuck-up dragon is like, your cows are far too skinny. You have no peddling gold here. You only have copper. I shall go to the town across the way. They have fat sows, and I shall eat of their land and take of their gold. It just saunters over to the other town. SOE, sign me up for voice acting. Your dragons.
No doubt.
Just make me a character in your game. Just put me in the game and I'll just voice it.
That character's gonna have a bear butt fetish, though.
Yeah. I'm a dude in the woods with hunting down bears. That's. Or we're like, what's fat sows equal bacon? And listen, bacon is better than beef, so.
It could be, cows, pigs, whatever.
So,
goats.
Next year at SOE Live, I am going to have a t-shirt printed with the ass of a bear on it, right? The hind end of a bear.
Cartoon bear butt?
Bear Butt University. Dr. Flatus.
Yeah. Bear butts.
Okay.
And then on the back it just said ladies.
For the whole bear butts thing, when Pandaria launched and people were bitching about how the pandas were fat, because they totally started bitching that the pandas were fat. Why are the pandas fat? The pandas shouldn't be fat. They're supposed to be athletic. And no. And it's like, no, fucking pandas, they're fat. It makes sense for a panda to be fat. And guess what? I get to play something that's fat like me. Yay! And I still don't have a panda.
Because it's bare butts, I guess.
No, I actually have a couple. But anyways, so people were bitching on the forums. I posted on the forums and I rewrote the lyrics to Babies Got Back to fit I like bare butts, and I cannot lie. You other players can't deny. I'm not even kidding.
Michael Flatley said Mohong was chubby. He was! He was such a good martial artist. He was fantastic.
True dat, yo.
I love it. Raid prep, gather X pigs in case we need to run. Are pigs mounts? Am I gonna hop on a pig and be like, ride pig?
Make sure you have a carrot on a stick.
Yeah. And last but not least, I think we didn't touch on the last thing, is that rating's only there because it's soon to be a necessity while ignoring dramatic conventions.
I love you, H1Z1 Jane. That's amazing.
Bear butt's literally sitting in the little cars made of walnuts. Jesus. There was going to be an official EverCast shirt. I guess that would be that one.
Yeah, I was trying to think of how I could segue us back onto topic.
I was trying. I was trying.
Segue, but anyways, back to topic.
I was saying, yeah, back to the topic. Rating, the last point, I think this is on part 3 of the, and it's the last point the writer made, is that rating is only there because it's assumed to be a necessity while ignoring dramatic conventions.
Right. And that's where I went to, where we came back from the break and I was talking, when I came back from break and I was talking about why I feel that rating is necessity. It's not because I assume it's so. It's just that that's one of my favorite things to do. And that's not just like rating in PvE and scripted encounters and stuff like that, but it could be even open world PvP where it's like, okay, I don't know, this is a friend of a friend, but he knows what he's doing enough to be able to follow a group and do what it is that we're doing. Like, all of those things are awesome, and that it makes it feel a little bit more like a living world, in that like the network of social interaction spreads beyond just like 5 or 6 immediate friends, and that makes it it necessitates larger groups. Like, being part of an MMO, it should necessitate being part of an organization that is more than just you and 3 or 4 or 5 of your friends. And I look at EVE Online is probably the best example of what that extended network of alliances and corporations, what it really brings out. I mean, granted, there's that really cutthroat PvP part of it, but at the same time, there's a lot of teamwork and behind the scenes working together that make those large fleets happen.
I agree. I was going to point out in the article, they said that Star Wars: The Old Republic half figured this out, like with the personal story. It's like the biggest reason for most people to play the game doesn't require you going into even one single grouped instance.
And we criticize Star Wars: The Old Republic all the time that it's it should have been a single player game. They tacked on the MMO part of it.
Yeah.
The Old Republic is like what were those 2 games?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic 2. It's that with the word MMO tagged onto it. I mean,
and it wasn't even those games. Like, it was like the story was good. Ish. But the problem with that is that like what it lost was, like, even though there was light and dark side points on, even though you're light side or dark side. It lost that part of the single player game for Knights of the Old Republic, because your choices mattered in that, where it was like, oh, I'm still on the light side, but I'm a Jedi with a lot of dark side nonsense. It just affected your story. That's all it really did, but it didn't like change your character drastically like it would in the single player game. So,
Kai, didn't you go through one of the quests and like there was 3 different options or something like that, and you chose like all 3 of the different options of going through Knights of the Old Republic, and it did not change the outcome of the quest at all? Yep. Yeah, see, and that's like that. I'm sorry, but don't sign me up for that game. I tried Star Wars: The Old Republic. I found it not to be the game for me, and that was one of the reasons.
I only play it so I can swing a lightsaber. Because pew pew.
Pew.
And I have a yellow one.
I follow SWTOR for the cinematics. Listen, you could probably just watch you could probably watch someone play through SWTOR just for the cinematics. Just pick the side, this is the story you want to see, and just watch it. Couldn't
you somebody stitch it all together, right? Like they like play one cinematic, and then at the end of the cinematic, like if you choose A, turn to page, and you click on the link, and it goes to the next
adventure.
You can do that on YouTube actually with the little like links and stuff. Like, oh, at the end, like, do you choose this one or this one? I'm pretty sure someone if someone had the time, and since it's free to play, they do. I can't see why someone wouldn't have done that.
Alright, so let me ask.
Listen, PP. What?
Oh, Legendary asked a question. Legendary Neurotoxin asked about harvesting raids and crafting raids. in Vanguard, one of my favorite social experiences was like waking up on our guild harvesting runs, because we, it's like wake up on a Sunday morning, wipe the sleep out of your eyes, throw on a little television, and you could just harvest with a group. And it was essential towards building a guild hall, right? It wasn't like we were doing it because there was nothing else to do. It was because we had a goal in mind, and one person couldn't possibly accomplish it alone. And there was a group bonus for harvesting together in a group, and so we took advantage of it. And I think that's ultimately like what harvesting should give a group bonus. It should be something that encourages grouping. Not that you can't do it by yourself, but it should benefit to be able to do more with more players.
The idea of harvesting and crafting in groups is weird.
Yeah.
Because we don't know how crafting. Oh, I guess we kind of do. I guess, but we still don't know how it truly work in EverQuest Next. Even though people in chat are going to make we'll see how it works in Landmark. That's not going to work in EverQuest Next. No, I don't want to know. Not necessarily, because we never know. That could change, and not saying that it won't be how things are harvested would be exactly different, but like, I don't know, separate games still, like different mechanics, different crafting sort of things going on there. So
I don't know. I don't think Landmark's group harvesting system isn't a bad one, though, because
it's not.
Especially when it comes to like because you can visually identify what you're harvesting, and when you see like a rare or an extremely rare resource on the ground, you might stop and be like, hey, because I know that you're going to get 10% of everything that I will get out of this, I want as many people in my group close by, so that instead of being like, 100, it's, 100 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 for all the people that are in my group near me. And so that basically increases the yield of what was in that vein that you were harvesting of metal or wood or whatever. And so it does encourage that group activity. But raiding, I think, is a bit too far, because again, when I raid, I want to feel heroic, like I'm doing this huge epic thing, not chopping down trees.
All right, guys, we got 40 grand. Tailors, you got your needles ready? And quilt! I poked my thumb! 50 KP minus! Poke your thumb.
Misstitched! You misstitched!
You misstitched!
Quick, get the seam ripper. Oh my god, we're making fucking sewing jokes!
Quilt off. I'll make every quote. I'll make every sewing. I didn't make a crochet joke though. I made a sewing joke.
There was a question. Oh, AI, is it? No, I think that person was cracking a joke comparing the AI to Skynet. But I'll just say.
Oh no!
If they make the AI so intelligent that it has unforeseen consequences in the game world, I'm like, hell yeah. Give it to me.
What? Oh, well, then we'll need to get... No, because then we're going to have to send back a robot slathered in, like, fake skin, naked in the past, and... I mean... If that's what somebody wants, is a buff dude showing up in the middle of the road naked, trying to beat people up for clothes, then have at it.
I'm waiting to see how she reacts to that.
I don't know if... he wasn't... I'm not gonna discuss Terminator. We haven't sunk that low. We have to discuss the plot of Terminator. Tamlin wants the EQ on virus. Someone. Oh, jeez. Really? Chat. Quilt puns.
All right.
Well, chat, if you have any final questions, this would be the time to ask them. We'll give a few seconds for lag to catch up. And if no, what? I'll give it a chance to ask any final questions, and then if not, we'll go.
Oh, well, I would just want to say I saw that this is a person's first time visiting the show. Glad that you liked it. We've been doing it for a year and a couple of months now. Normally we're about this crazy and chaotic.
Normally.
Yeah.
This is about on par for a normal show for us.
Yep.
Calvaralol?
I like this show. I'm surprised I only stumbled across it right now. You should follow us, and that way you can watch it next week. Wink.
That's right. Plug our YouTube channel. If you
somebody else
want to go back and watch our old episodes, they're on our YouTube channel. We also put it up on Stitcher, so you can catch it on your favorite device of choice for listening to podcasts.
Yeah. Question: how should open world NPC raiding parties work?
Carijo 101 is also new. It's his first time as well. Sorry.
All right, so Caveralol and Carijo 101. Thank you for coming and finding us and follow and thank you for coming. There's normally 4 here, but one guy had to go take care of a
fire. The roof is on fire.
5th time that's happened. Thank you guys for showing up, by the way. There was one question. What was it? Group open world raids?
NPC.
NPC. If you ask me, it should be like the paper cutouts from Monty Python's Quest for the Holy Grail, where it's just like the group of guys, like, oh, it's just like the little paper cutout, 2D cutout, oh, look out, like, that's it. I think that's how they should act. It's just like a guy's with a banner, like one guy's holding the banner, a bunch of guys with like weapons in the air going, oh, like just mumbling in a group.
I think that from the lessons learned of Guild Wars 2, that you need to make it scale on the fly with new people showing up, and you need to make it so that it's not competitive, like keel stealing and camping mobs and that sort of thing. Like, that's very old school, and I don't think that having it like, I tag this mob, it's mine, and other groups cannot take anything from that. I think that's very old school, and I don't think that having those types of rules enhances the way that the game functions. But adding more players that can come and join you on the fly does make the experience better. Especially if you're like, I don't know if I can really do it, and then somebody shows up and it's like the cavalry showing up and you're like, yes, we can do this, that type of thing. And I think that's where the greatest distinction between an instanced and non-instanced raiding comes into effect, because then with the instance, there's no cavalry that's going to show up and save your butt. You're stuck with what you've got. Now you can scale the difficulty in there, but when open world, make it as inclusive as you can. And then in open world PvP raiding, that's a whole another ball game, especially when you're both trying to take down the same mob.
Yeah. Should there be actions taken by mobs or the environment specifically designed to cause raid group to split? That would be fun. It'd be kind of an interesting thing to happen. Like, let's say you're fighting a giant slime monster and it splits into 2, and the raid parties have to split up to fight each slime monster individually and split up. That'd be kind of fun.
It reminds me of something that I wanted to do when I first got into, and I don't I try to avoid talking about Warcraft as much as I do. But one of the first things I wanted to do when I started playing Warcraft is that if you go and you raid an enemy capital city, right? Like all of the other players on that opposing factions, they band together and they okay, hey, dude, you can't go and kill our city boss. That's just not cool. And so I'm like, well, if you organized enough people in advance, you could attack multiple leaders at the same time, and the opposing faction wouldn't be able to get that critical mass banded together to push you out. And so my goal was for the Horde, it was to organize a raid group that killed all of the Alliance leaders, bosses at the same time, including Jaina, who's not technically a boss, but have all of them dead at the same time, and then be like, the Horde just owns you. And I would love to see those sort of storytelling devices in EverQuest Next. If there's like the possibility, I'm all for it. Like, you have to attack this boss here and this boss here with two different groups at the same time in order to either defeat a third boss or cause a third boss to spawn or that sort of thing. Epic.
I would dig that. Can we do that cross server? Can we get that together? We may have to talk after the show. we have to talk after the show.
All right. Just
all right, and I think Rare Far, that's gonna be our last question for the night, unless someone sneaks one in real quick. But that's gonna be our last one. With the story bricks NPC interaction, would it be cool to interact with mobs, such as taunting or shouting, to provoke movement or actions during fighting? No, because that kind of goes against what they're trying to do. Right? Am I reading that wrong? With the Storybricks NPC interaction, would it be cool to interact with mobs? No, yeah, because that kind of goes... Because we kind of want them... Because then that goes back to the old school type tanking system where you're taunting and holding aggro off that mob. So you kind of don't want that. You want to be able to, like Tanla was saying earlier, you want to have the battle mage that can like block the healer with a rock wall or something. Like, you want to have like that natural progression in battle where like everybody's like, oh, that dude's gonna get hit. Like the tank can stand in front, but he can only take so much damage. Let me manipulate the world with this character I created, like an elementalist, and raise the wall, rock wall up.
I would love to see tanking more of a like knocking back, knocking down, and then like, because I don't want it to be a strictly plate wearing with a shield type thing, like a mage that can like teleport, like, hey, I have a spell that will let me teleport an enemy 10 meters in any direction I want. So you can, hey, this guy is chasing one of my DPSers, so I teleport him 10 meters away, and then I have a frost spell that like roots them in place. So now I've controlled that part of the battle. Like, I teleported him over there, stood him in place, and now we can continue doing what we're doing without him causing major problems. But I think that fundamentally the AI should have its own desires. Like, it should have its own thought process on what it should be doing, and the players can interact with it in a limited way, but physically you can interact with it every which way you'd like to.
All right, Legendary, last question for the night. Should large groups have the ability to set up camps in the open world to use as forward base or a more defensible place to wait for out nighttime? Yeah, why not?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's go with it.
I've already said, like, my dream scenario is that if you attack all the orcs on one tree, or on one road, right, on one trade route, you attack them all on this one trade route, and they move to a different trade route, and then when they're on that other trade route, they all start congregating in one defensible area because you don't kill them when they're there. The developer should notice that and be like, dude, all of our orcs ended up over here, and they congregate here because they're strong in this position because it's easily defended. And then like they patch or they do a rally call, and the next thing you know, you go back into that area where they're all congregating, and now they've built walls. and then like, if you still don't attack them, the next time you go there, they've got the towers built and they've got walls that are thicker that you can't just like knock over anymore. That type of stuff I'd love to see.
I agree with you. I think that the NPCs or orcs or whatever the heck's going to be running out there, I think that they should have the ability to set up little forward camps or have scouting parties. That'd be kind of cool. And if you kill their scout, maybe they're like, oh, that prevents them from like sending an army out or provokes them. They're like, oh, okay, our guy's dead. Maybe it was like a scouting party to let you know, like, we come in peace, and you kill him. You're like, peace, nothing. Stabbed in the face, and that provokes them. That'd be kind of fun. I like that. Chat's now arguing about which side, Horde or Alliance is better. I'm not going to jump in that argument. All right, guys.
Yep. Who wants to camp us out?
It's been a minute from me.
Somebody else do it. I did it.
Yeah, I'll do it because it's been a minute. Camping in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you for hanging out with us on this 40th episode of EverCast Show. Ready Check. We will see you next week with episode 41 and with more things to come. Thank you for everybody that's old and new joining us, and hopefully we'll see you all next week. Catch us up on Twitter, email us at evercast.show@gmail.com, and our YouTube and all the other stuff down below. You can find the links in our blog spot if you want to see what we're talking about a week in advance. So, see you guys, and have a good one.